What's up guys, Mystic9 here, coming at you with another video, and today we'll be covering the news that surfaced yesterday evening regarding the Fortnite and Epic Games' unprecedented $520 million they will be paying in relief funds. Absolutely insane. Let's get it. Alrighty everyone, in today's video I will be giving a brief overview on the unprecedented $520 million in relief funds that Fortnite and Epic Games will be paying, and I'll be giving my reaction and my thoughts to this whole situation. Before we get into the weeds of the entire case though, I'd like to point out that there are three main things that Fortnite is being found guilty on. The first one being they are tricking users into making purchases. The second thing is that they are collecting data from children without parents' consent. And the third thing is that they have default settings that harm both children and teens. So now that I've laid out the three main things Fortnite is being charged with, let's dive deeper into this case as a whole and let's find out what's really going on. Alright, first off, the two entities involved in this case are Epic Games, which is Fortnite, or Fortnite, however you want to look at it, Fortnite and Epic Games, same entity, and the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, whose job is to protect the public from deceptive or unfair business practices and from unfair methods of competition through law enforcement, advocacy, research, and education. Basically, the FTC has secured agreements requiring Epic Games to pay a total of $520 million. Pretty crazy, right? Okay, so now that I've given you an overview of the entire case, let's go ahead and hop into the first main point that I pointed out at the beginning of the video. So, the first thing I mentioned earlier was that Epic Games is tricking its users into making purchases. At first glance of the article, the FTC posted regarding the entire case. By the way, the link is in the description of this video. I will be referencing the article in the description throughout the entire video. So if you want to check it out yourself, go give it a look and kind of compile your thoughts on the entire case. But anyway, Epic Games was found guilty on the claim of them using dark patterns to manipulate users into making unintended purchases. Epic will pay a $245 million penalty to refund customers for its dark patterns and billing practices, which is the FTC's largest refund amount in a gaming case and its largest administrative order in history. Basically, all this money will be going back to anyone in the player base that was affected by these measures back in late 2017 and early 2018. This is a large chunk of money, and there shouldn't be an issue with this amount covering everyone who is affected by this. And I'll go ahead and throw up more screenshots now regarding the illegal dark patterns used by Epic Games to trick users into making unwanted purchases. Okay, so now that I've covered the first point, I'm going to go ahead and lump the second and third points together because they're closely related into the charges that Fortnite's facing. So the second and third point, just to reiterate, is that the second point is collecting data from children without parents' consent, and the third point is having default settings that harm both children and teens. So in total, Epic will pay a $275 million monetary penalty for violating the COPPA rule, which is a rule that imposes certain requirements on operators of websites or online services directed to children under 13 years of age, and on operators of other websites or online services that have actual knowledge that they are collecting personal info online from a child under 13 years of age. So basically, they collected personal data from children without first obtaining parents' verifiable consent, and the company also required parents who requested that their children's personal information be deleted, jump through unreasonable hoops, and sometimes fail to honor such request. And to go along with the default settings that harm children and teens, the FTC alleges that these default settings, along with Epic's role in matching children and teens with strangers to play Fortnite together, harm the children and teens. Children and teens have been bullied, threatened, harassed, and exposed to dangerous and psychologically traumatizing issues such as suicide while on Fortnite. That is pretty insane, and that's kind of eye-opening, and I've never really thought of that or anything back when I played the game, because when I started playing the game, I was 13 and then turned 14, so I was 13 years old, but I can kind of see how younger kids might be affected by this. And like I said, this is a huge issue, but I feel like Fortnite has remedied this issue since its late 2017, early 2018 days. And the game now has default settings where you can't necessarily hear others in a party unless they are your friends. But I'm not completely sure if they fix this issue in fill lobbies, so you guys are gonna have to let me know down below if you know. But yeah, that's my that's the overview of the second and third points. Okay, so just as a disclaimer, this part of the video is going to be my thoughts on the matter. So this portion of the video is going to be more opinion based than fact based. So you're more than welcome to share your opinions on this case down below, and as a matter of fact, you're encouraged to. So my thoughts on the first point, which is the Epic Games tricking its users into buying skins and like buying other cosmetics on the game. I feel like this is more of a parenting issue than anything. Like, all other kinds of businesses use this tactic, and I'm not saying it's okay, but if Epic Games is going to be sued this much money for something like this, then maybe it's time to start looking at other companies who are using the same tactics. And there's other companies out there who use these tactics in far worse situations and are taking advantage of people like way more. Like, I trust Epic Games as a company way more than I would trust some other company, or more than I trust a lot of other companies out there. And the second and third points, this is absolutely an issue, and I'm glad companies are finally starting to get busted for this. But like I said earlier, I feel like Fortnite has definitely remedied these issues, and these matters are really outdated when talking about Fortnite in late 2022 and 2023. Okay, so now that I've shared my specific thoughts on like the specific points that I mentioned earlier, now I'm going to share my overall thoughts on the entire case. So, like I said earlier, overall these issues aren't going to change my everlasting outlook on Epic Games as a company. I feel like there are far worse companies out there that are way less trustworthy and are truly only in it for the money and to hurt others. The fact is, Epic Games was a very young company when Fortnite blew up, and they were bound to make mistakes along the way because they weren't really prepared for their game to blow up into the phenomenon it is today. Epic Games was barely worth a few $1 million over 6 years ago, and now they're well worth over $30 billion. What? That is absolutely insane. I also think Epic Games will have no issue covering these legal fees while also keeping the competitive loopholes right where they are and keeping the game as a whole in the same successful state it's in now. So everyone who's out there on social media like freaking out about this, to Epic Games as a whole, this $500 million is chunk change. So we're fine. Alrighty guys, as always, I'd love to hear your opinions on these issues in the comment section down below. Is Epic Games completely in the wrong here, or will this even phase you as far as your current outlook on Fortnite and Epic Games as a whole? Like I said, for me, this doesn't really affect my outlook on the game. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, or like this type of video. I know it was more of an informational one, but it was one I wanted to make. Please leave a like down below while you're down there dropping your comment. And while you're down there, you might as well like hit the subscribe button too, right? Like, am I right? But anyway, with that, I love you all very, very much, and I'll speak with you again in the next video. Peace out.